Slave ship São José that lies off the coast at Clifton in Cape Town, well, it's been declared a South African National Heritage Site.
It's the first shipwreck ever found in the country's waters that was identified as a slave ship that carried slaves when it sank. For the first time, artifacts of the ship are on display, on public display that is, bringing to light its horrific past. The United States Ambassador's Fund for Cultural Preservation granted 7 million rand towards the Slave Wrecks project 2 years ago.
Just beyond the crashing waves of one of Cape Town's most scenic beaches lies the evidence of the horrors of history. For over 200 years it lay hidden, slowly deteriorating. But finally the São José's gruesome purpose was brought to light. More than 400 slaves en route from East Africa to Brazil were on board. A storm destroyed the vessel, claiming the lives of more than 200 people. Marine archaeologist Jakub Boshoff has played a vital role in the project and says the exhibit brings science and history together.
It's a story that wasn't told very fully or very clearly in history. In history it was a footnote, literally. And so that was our aim, to tell this story, to uncover this history. In fact, our title of our exhibition is Unshackled History, so we want to break the bonds of the past and tell people about the São José.
Pioneering research by South African and American teams has led to one of the first successful efforts in the world to document the archaeological vestiges of one of the thousands of vessels that carried slaves across the Atlantic.
Silenced people, now we may be able to hear some of their voices as well through this kind of research. It's not just, a research that's locked in archives where people have to go and pore through the archive, but now it is in the public domain, in a museum, which is open and accessible to members of the public.
The slaves on board the São José were from Mozambique. Retired Constitutional Court Judge Albie Sachs is the patron of the project.
Mozambique saved my life. Mozambique kept me as a refugee. South Africans came to Mozambique and tried to kill me. 2 Mozambicans died. And today when Mozambicans come to South Africa, they're told, go away, foreigner, we don't want you. Such shame on our country. So this project now is a way of reconnecting us with Africa, with our brothers and sisters to the north of us in Africa.
Work on the project will continue. This in an effort to remember and honor those who died, but also those that survived, eventually sold as slaves at the Cape, and whose descendants became part of the story of a nation. Mariska Botha, SABC News.